And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Kamara. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running back?
That's what you need for a good counter.
You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing element as well, but they have to marry up their steps. Otherwise, that timing gets thrown out the window.
Timing was great there and a big run. Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
On 2nd down, Kamara. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Play fake, Rivers. This is caught. Clark. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations. So he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud with that completion.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Kamara, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Elliott good with a PAT, and we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Watson. Open here, Adam Thielen. Touchdown, Chicago! 2 first-quarter touchdown passes now for Deshaun Watson. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And put it on the board. It's 6, a touchdown. In for the score. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking on some responsibility, but he was happy to do so there.
Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Now McKinnon to start the drive. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. And this is going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it.
Come back, come back. Tiger, tiger, tiger. Tiger, tiger, tiger.
They're going for it. It's Watson. Open man as Thielen is complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Facing a 4th down, they come away with 18 yards and the 1st down conversion. A pair of 1st downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Avery Williamson there to make the stop. 2 yards on the 1st down carry and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Lets it fly for Thielen. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Again, the offense will stay out there. They've converted once on this drive. What can they do here on 4th down? They are going for it. Here's Watson. And this is caught. Pulled in by Clark. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on fourth. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. A shotgun snap for Watson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Carl Lawson able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Here's Watson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. 3rd down here.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Going for it has paid off twice already on this drive. Can they convert again on 4th down? Let's see. They will indeed snap it to Watson. And that is going to be incomplete. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. Back with more after this. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Ready, Delta! Wider!
A 1st down throw here for Rivers. Forced out to his left. And an alley to run. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Load it! Load it! Hey, go orange. Orange. Good! Delta!
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. And now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. A give. This is Kamara. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Hey, 79! 79! Set 180!
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Delta!
Rivers to throw for it on 4th. And he's got an open man. Clark. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Not often do 4th down conversions result in 23 yards, but that's the case here. 1st down.
Set! Block the key!
On 1st and 10, Rivers. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Second down, Rivers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range. But boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board. But give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. On first down, Watson lets it fly for Thielen. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Come back, come back.
The final shot before the break. Watson toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. So we've hit halftime all even at 14 apiece. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. A tie game. I don't think anybody in this building, including you or I, was expecting that.
No, I would agree with that totally. I didn't expect to see it at all, but I kind of like where they were going with this. You know, as you said, tie game, trying to steal a possession, steal an advantage, and you told your defense at the half you were going to do it, which also told them that you had confidence in them in case it failed, as that one just did.
And now you've given good field position here to start the third quarter. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They run it again with Kamara. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Rivers. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. And a gain there of 11 yards.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
The left side throw complete to Adams. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Rivers on 3rd and 2. Oh, he almost had the rare interception. The big fella couldn't hang on, though. Incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. He'll be dropped at the 30. The shifty move got him a couple extra on the play. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And quickly to his tight end, Clark. That's caught. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. And when you go 5 wide like they just did there, you can't really max protect, can you?
No, you cannot. What you're hoping is that by going 5 wide, you're forcing the defense into coverage. And if you do that, you get a chance to find some people downfield. But if they audible themselves and go into a blitz, then it's got to happen right now,
or
very
lights
quickly,
out.
Or exactly right. Turn them out, that play's over.
3rd and long, it's Watson. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. With that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night. Watson now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he picks up the 1st before he's taken down at the 29. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Richmond. Come back.
On 1st down, it's Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. Watson now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. Here's McKinnon. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Mika Fitzpatrick made the play defensively, the 1st-round pick out of Alabama.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Yeah, every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. To throw on 2nd is Watson, escaping the pressure right. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Watson. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Dallas Clark, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Bears have broken the tie. Gano the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
It's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
Rivers now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Rivers now to throw on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Henry. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for him.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Hey, go orange. Orange.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. A throw left side, complete to Clark. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a first down. When you want 3, get a little bit closer, make it an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense, and they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here.
Let's go.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
Hey. One now a little bit.
He'll get it up the middle. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Hey, go orange. Orange.
He's back to throw. Being chased out left. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
Hey, Rocket. Check, green 80.
Desperation time. Rivers on 4th down. Dancing to his left. And it's caught. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins in the final minute. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. So getting the big touchdown they needed late in the fourth. Now what do? You conservative and just tie it up?
No, I think you put your practice into game situation. Go as fast as possible. You already have your play call ready to go. Go for two and decide it right now.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
They go play action here on first down. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Not good. They didn't move the football an inch, and precious time ticking off the clock. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Watson now to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Now Watson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. Watson. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
Now it's Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. A shotgun snap for Watson. Lets it fly for Thielen. And no, it's incomplete. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Hey, Rocket!
Now a 2nd down throw for Rivers. They'll get it in the hands of Clark. Complete. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Gets around him. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
And a catch made by Hopkins. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Load it! Load it!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. Earl Thomas in on the stop.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10.
Set 180.
The busy night continues for Kamara, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here in OT. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
White. Set. Run 80.
They'll try to throw here. Rivers. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A really good pickup of 28 yards. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. It'll be their 2nd and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back.
Set. Ground 80.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
You got 4. You got 4 down. 4 down.
Biggest play now in this opening drive of overtime. This is 3rd and goal.
Hey, block your team! Hey! Watch the slant! Watch the slant! Motion! Buffalo wall! Behind! Behind!
They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
This offense bent the defense in their long drive downfield, but once they got within sight of the goal line, the defense went to don't break mode and is stiffened.
Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. So a big, big kick coming now for Jake Elliott. And Elliott puts this one through. And that will break our tie and give him a 3-point lead. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
And he is going to be brought down at the 3-yard line. First play of the drive goes to McKinnon. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They run once more with McKinnon. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Sometimes your crosses get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game with the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much. And
now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Try to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards, 1st down. So a little more space to work with here from the 13 on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Watson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando. Oh, it's intercepted. That'll seal it. Our breaths from